I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. I like having fun. Yes, I like to laugh. I like having fun to meet people who laugh.
Vic, can you hear me? Hi. I'm calling in from Canada, okay? And I wanted just to let you know that I'm proud of you for the work you're doing on the show, okay?
Well, I'd like to thank you personally from Glendale. Thank you, Tim.
And I'm going to speak to Doug real quick, okay?
Hello.
Doug, can you come here? I want to talk to you privately.
Yes.
Get closer to me. I am so grateful that you are back from your travels of on the sea, in the ocean. Okay?
It's great to hear. I'm glad to be back too.
Can you give me a kiss? I love you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Office Hours. It's me, your host, Tim Heidecker, joining via Zoom. Want to thank Zoom for making this possible. And I'm in Canada, Toronto, Canada. You can see the Sky Tower. Pointless piece of... Thank you.
A little loud.
That symbolizes the Ozempic being shot up around the country. Good morning.
See that. And Doug is back in the studio. We have a new rule. New rule being Doug and I can't be in the same room at the same time. Doesn't work.
This works though.
Right?
Yeah.
We had a lot of tension last year and it got physical, I'll admit. It did get physical towards the end of last year. And we had a big meeting, all hands on deck. Wes was there and Luke and old interns, Alec. Who else?
We had a big rumble.
Carson flew in.
That's why we had to redo the studio, because we destroyed it with our
What was the guy before
with our
Matt?
melee.
The first producer before Matt. He was there.
Aristotle
Aristotle
came back.
He called the meeting. Yeah.
Some of the former guests came in. We had Alyssa Lamperis come in.
It was nice to see.
Jay Weingarten came in.
On Zoom, Dionne
We
Warwick.
let Jay Weingarten back in. And we said, how the hell are we going to keep doing this show? Because Doug and I can't be in the same room. Because it's just, the chemistry's off. Something about him, something about me, we just do not gel. Creatively, yes. We can gel, but... So the solution was, why don't I go up and live in Canada for the rest of my life? What? I don't know what that has to do with anything. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. He played a drop that was like some
it worked
kind of
to me.
like, similar vibe, and I went with it.
100%.
No, this is, of course, me working as a SAG-AFTRA actor.
Well, that's great that you're
It's
getting
part of my
acting work.
duty.
That's great that you're getting acting work. I've been trying to get acting work, and I did bring in my new acting reel, which we can show later.
Oh.
I just wanted.
We'll show that later in the second half of the show. Doug's got a new acting reel. Moshe Kasher's already been laughing his little silly head off at the show. You can hear his voice.
I have a big
He's having a
boisterous
blast.
laugh. I mean, this is a good podcast. This is a good show. The dynamic
you.
here is like really, the tension's palpable. I fired Doug from a podcast as well.
Oh, well, we could talk about that.
Yeah, so
That's
that feels good to
Were you
kind
the
of-
main firer?
I was desperate.
You're the one.
Desperate to get Doug off the podcast. Yeah.
You had to give the news to him personally?
No, we had an HR person do it.
Your
Oh,
game
that's
is
best.
up.
Yeah, that's. I'm planning moves like that. Matt, remind me to get an HR person so we can take care of some things on the
Now
when it comes to the main cast.
I will.
Above the line, yes, I get it.
But Moshe, we're going to talk about Moshe. Just chill for a second.
All right, I'm
okay?
done. I'm sitting back.
I know. By the way, Moshe, I've already gotten issues with you because Moshe comes in at 9:59. From what I can tell.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was a sound check.
You don't realize it's live?
We all can
Well-
grow and we all can learn.
I'm here. I was on time. That's early. That's 1 minute early.
No, I don't think so. I think the request is 9:45.
You're right. You're right.
Which
And
is generous to be like, get here 15. If you're doing Colbert, which you're not, I don't know why I'm so spicy with everybody this morning. What's going on? I
You
feel like I'm
kissed-
safe.
you kissed
I
Doug
can say
before
whatever
you
I
started
want.
to fuck him.
Yeah.
No one's coming at me. No one can physically get me.
I'll send Drake and some goons to find you.
No, it's fine. I'm just. People think I get all that bent out. So people were giving me shit last week because this drunk driver called in. Did you see that comment, Matt?
He wasn't driving drunk at the
Someone
at
was
the
mad
time,
about that?
but- What did you
Yeah,
say?
they thought I
don't-
was just being. I was treating him like I was being an asshole with him, and Zach was very compassionate towards him, and so was I thought, but I was giving him some tough love, maybe. Anyway, Moshe's got a new book out. My goodness, I'm listening to it. Can I be
Are you
honest
really?
with you? Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. That's part of it right there. That's from the audiobook. I did that. I do a lot of sound effects.
with your mouth.
Is there
Very
drops?
good.
You should
There's a
put
lot of
drop.
drops in the audiobook.
You should let us do a drop pass to your next book.
I had Michael Winslow do the audiobook.
DJ Harrison is also going to be joining us. And was that a recommendation from you, Moshe, or is that coming from you, Matt?
It's from Stone's Throw. Our pals at Stone's Throw sent DJ our way,
Okay.
and we said this sounds
But it
great.
seems like it's in the Moshe sphere.
I
Is
think
that
he's
fair
gonna
to
like
say,
it.
maybe?
I think he's gonna like it.
Yeah.
I do like Stone's Throw. Is it DJ Harrison or the man named DJ and his last name is Harrison?
It's his name. He's not a
Okay.
DJ.
He's not DJ Harrison.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
I'm
a
excited.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Now I'm
gonna
getting
play
excited.
keyboard. Got it set up there.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was well, it was very confusing. I'm a little out of the loop, of course, because I'm up here, but he's setting up his piano. He's going to be playing music, but I just thought he was a DJ. And I really did.
They have,
But I
their
didn't give
whole-
it much thought. If I gave it any thought, I would have been like, well, DJ, what is a DJ going to do? I thought we booked like Tiesto on the show.
That would be such a good booking. I would love that so much. Do you guys follow David Guetta on social media?
No.
He's amazing.
Social media.
Social media. Do you follow in Ibiza, David Guetta? He's trying to solve all of society's woes, one techno track at a time.
Holy cow.
And there's a great video of him on top of a roof going, "This one goes out to the family of George Floyd and everyone's
yeah.
suffering." And then he just starts playing a Martin Luther King track. And then like a
I
year...
did see that, yeah.
It's a techno track with I Have a Dream over it. And then a year later, he's like, "And now we will solve homophobia. This one goes out to all the gay community." And he plays the exact same Martin Luther King track.
Really? Hey, did you listen to that new what's her name? Kate Hudson song?
Heard about this.
Are you get into the Kate Hudson scene?
She's on Stone's Throw Records as well, right?
She's Melanie Griffith's
Oh.
daughter.
Yeah.
How is
No,
it?
she's
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn's
Hawn.
daughter.
I get
Oh, I
those
mean,
mixed
And
up.
yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Well, it's
I
got to be
think
great
Vic just
then.
jumps in with the wrong answer
So,
right.
but they were. Yep. I know Miss Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
This is like
That
It's
it?
not
this
bad.
is the full AI treatment here. What, you like it, Doug?
Well, you sent that to the thread saying any Kate Hudson heads in here, and I'm like, does Tim like this? And I'm listening to it like, this ain't bad.
I did her
'Cause
podcast.
sometimes Tim has an open mind and he'll listen to something you wouldn't expect.
That's true.
My brother and I did her podcast. She does a podcast with her brother. She was very sweet, was a great conversation. I didn't know she was a recording artist, but I think
All
she's
right.
great.
Well, we'll just put kid gloves on for the rest of the show.
No, I'm not asking you to censor yourself. I'm just saying she's a close personal friend. I'm a friend of the family.
A dear friend.
Goldie Hawn is my godmother. But say what you need to say.
Now check this out. I was thinking about this. We talk about time, perspective, and this is maybe mostly towards Doug here. But today, it was the anniversary. It was the 20-year anniversary of Janet Jackson's wardrobe
Oh my
malfunction
God. I remember that.
at the Super Bowl. And it's impactful to me because I remember that so well because I was driving across country on my move to Los Angeles during that event. So that makes this my 20-year anniversary in Hollywood.
Is Janet still in prison for
20
that?
years, baby.
Is she still serving time for that?
20 years I've been at the grind. 20 years since I said goodbye to the 9 to 5 and woke up every day to be a creative person. And that's been my life. Let's hear it for me. What about you, Doug?
I'll be
You
celebrating-
must be 20 plus.
Well, I came out just before you did, but I met you like within a year after I moved out here. So
Right.
you and I will be celebrating our 20th.
Let's do it.
I think I'll be at 5 years in a year and a half or so.
Definitely not notable.
Boring.
A couple other things to mention. Vic's got a new guy.
Oh, yes. Sit
And
down.
we're going to talk about that. And I think, Moshe, you're going to love this guy.
I can't wait.
Vic will post to our text thread and say, "There's a new guy that I found a new
I
guy."
found a
It's
new
just
guy.
it's a guy you found online.
Oh, yeah. The new guy.
A guy
Yeah,
that-
like
That's
low
cool.
numbers in the views. I love stuff like that. Like,
Just a man with no views, but you have found
but
him.
I found him. Yeah, He's there.
Hey, maybe we could do a parody of like a girl group thing where it's like, Vic's got a new guy, wonder what he's like.
Hey
Vic's
now,
got a
hey
new
now,
guy.
Vic's got a guy.
Maybe somebody out there can make
Yeah.
that for us.
By the end of the show.
Vic's got a new guy, wonder what he's like.
I'm pretty fly.
Have you ever met one of your guys, Vic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few of them. Right here, Sir Anthony is a guy
Yeah,
I
I'm tired
collaborate
of
with.
that guy,
I got his wristbands on.
Yeah, he
New video
collaborates with
coming
these
out.
guys.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Next
you start
week.
working with the
Yeah,
guys?
new video
Sucked
dropping
into the
next week.
vortex.
It's gonna be awesome.
Sir Anthony Jeselnik?
No,
No,
just Sir,
you discovered
Sir
Anthony Jeselnik?
Yeah, right.
That's
right.
cool.
No, but the big one was I was making videos of this guy giving selfie, style rants. It was Robert Davi from the Goonies.
Oh, cool.
And he reached out to me eventually, and we met up, and he wanted to meet up, and that was that. We settled things.
I discovered Dwayne the Rock Johnson
Whoa!
on the Champs. Yeah, Doug was there. I was the first guy ever to kind of see his potential.
Was he on the Champs?
He's an actor.
No, he is an actor now.
At the time, he was just a wrestler.
No, he worked at Jamba Juice.
No,
I found that guy. That's my guy.
come on, man.
All right.
We're not joking around on
I
this
thought
show.
this was like more of a silly pod.
What are the different kinds of podcasts? Are you doing the rounds?
I am doing the rounds. Yes, I am.
I heard Matt told me a nasty rumor, and I guess we can confirm it. You did the Joe Rogan Experience.
I did do that yesterday. Yes.
You did it. You went down. Oh, look at you.
I don't read.
Yeah, he doesn't read. He didn't read your book.
Did you read my book? Oh yeah, you're audio booking it. Doug, what about you?
What is trending?
He's not reading it.
Doug, will you read my book?
I'm reading your wife's book.
It is
Right.
a good. My wife's
And
book
that's
is
a
good.
great. That's hilarious, by the way. Do you guys just?
Well,
sit
let
to-
me ask you.
Do you guys just
is
sit
it
back to?
uncomfortable?
I have a question, real
Is it
quick.
uncomfortable to do Rogan? Like, do you? How do you? Like, do you go back with him or something?
Is it uncomfortable? No. I mean, I'm.
Well, just because he's such a pig, like, so he's such a clearly that's such a bad guy.
You smoke cigars?
No, I'm just asking honestly because I know you probably disagree with him about so
I'm
many
a
things.
fucking bona fide moron.
I guess I am not of the position that because I disagree with a person, I can't have a conversation with them.
I agree with him.
Fair
Burger
enough.
smash
Yeah.
cut's fucking
Fair enough.
hilarious. Vic
But
Berger
you didn't
does
get
some
into it
very
with him,
funny,
right? You're not going on there to
internet videos.
debate.
No. I was there to talk about my book, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was nice of him to have me on, and yeah.
Whoa.
And there we go.
All right.
There we go.
All right.
You've been awkward this entire podcast.
You know, I mean, there's
I'm done giving you shit about it.
discipline
All right, you've
involved
taken your
in
your
I
licks.
took my licks.
the act of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about his fans, though?
Where are you?
Shit talk his fans.
Where are you at in the book? That's what I'm curious about.
I'm still. I just finished the first story.
The AA one.
AA.
Oh yeah.
I
read
mean,
that.
listen, it's a miracle you're here. It's a miracle you're.
It's a miracle I got
alive.
here on time for the live podcast
I know.
to begin.
Calm down.
No, I didn't really know that much about your past. I unfortunately didn't read the. I feel like I'm going to go back and read your first book.
Oh, that's
because
nice.
There's so much. I mean, so much of your life seemed to take place before you were able to drive.
Well,
Jesus.
that is true. I went to like rehab 3 times by the time I turned 15. Somebody actually in the comments yesterday said, "What a BS story! Nobody goes to rehab at 13." Like he had figured out.
They know best.
Well, like they had
I mean, they
figured out the
know.
smoking gun, and this whole thing was a lie, and it just took one comment on my Instagram to kind of unravel the entire
I'm
thing.
drunk. I'm high.
I
enough
read your
with the
first
Rogan
book.
drops.
I read your first book.
We're moved on from that.
I read your first book,
You did?
Kasher in the Rye, of course.
Casher in the Rye.
Yeah.
I remember
But
once.
how did you get your hands on that much booze at that age?
Well, I was a prolific shoplifter. Well, there's a number of different ways in which we got booze. There was a guy named Little Mikey Rip It Up in Oakland that we used to hang out with, and he was like one of our core friends. And we hung out with him every day, and he was 35, and we were all 13 and 14 years old, and he would
So
go.
this is a cool guy.
He was like a really cool guy. Like we thought. We were like, this guy, Mikey's cool. Like he loves us. And he would go and he would buy liquor for us. He lived above a church on College Avenue in Oakland. And we would hang out in his like little parsonage up on top of the church. And then one day the church found out that we were all there, and they called our parents, and they were like, you know, Mike has like the mind of a 12-year-old, and he's hanging out with these kids because he wants friends, but you know, this is an inappropriate friendship, and it kind of like dissolved the whole thing. So then I had to, which made sense, you know, to us. Like we just thought he was one of us, and in a way, he actually was one of us.
Right.
But we hung out with a lot of people. There was a guy named Leotis who lived in Tilden Park in a tent, and he had I remember he had an ascot, and he would buy us alcohol. And there was a guy named Nate who lived but he went by Frohawk, and he lived in the sewers underneath, like a Ninja Turtle.
Wow.
He lived in the sewers underneath College Avenue in Oakland. I slept actually in the sewers a few nights with Nate.
In the
yes.
sewers.
What
Like, what do you mean you sleep in the sewer?
What social class were you? Like what
Ninja Turtle.
economic level were you?
I
growing
would
up?
say low. I grew up on welfare. My mother and father are deaf, and so
Right.
we were on welfare on SSI. We were on state disability, and so I would say we were pretty poor, but we had enough. I had enough to buy pizza for the nights in the sewers.
So did you see Gary Goldman's special?
Yeah,
It's good. It's kind of about that a little bit.
Jews on welfare, very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Yeah.
If you can catch us, we'll grant you a wish, but we're very tricky. So that was sort of the beginning of my life. And I was a prolific shoplifter too. But I was also like, my friends would always my friends were awful. My friends were like the worst people at the time. We used to rob from each other. I remember we used to hang out with this kid named Terry, and he was a little bit like upper middle class, and we were all like the kind of, you know, broken toys of Oakland. And we hung out with this kid, and we went to his house one night for a party, and broke into his parents' house and stole their alcohol and like broke a bunch of shit. And he stopped hanging out with us and was like, I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore. And for years we talk about Terry like, what a fucking square Terry is. Like, what a loser. He cut ties with us
Yeah.
just because we like slashed his parents' tires or whatever it was that we did. Like, meanwhile, Terry went on to like become a veterinarian and get married and have like a
Yeah.
great life. And me and all my friends just were like falling into deeper levels of degradation. And a lot of those kids went to prison and stuff. And I went to rehab, and I got sober when I was 15.
I remember in college, I think I was with this friend of mine. I won't say who it is, but he we were in London, and he bought some bad weed from some guy. Like he bought basically oregano, you know,
Oh yeah, I've been there.
and found and was so pissed and wanted to go back. And he's like, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna find this guy, and I'm gonna fucking get my money back. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
He's just like, you know, college kid, not gonna be able to do that. And he's like, you got to come with me and back me up. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. I don't give like that's for
Who
you
was
to
the
deal
guy?
with.
Who was the
And he's
drug
like,
dealer?
just some dude in the street. He was
Uh-huh.
just some like, you know, that was there every day. And my friend was so pissed at me. Come on, man. I thought you had my back. I'm like, I don't want to get involved, right? I'm in a foreign country here. And I don't want to sort of settle a drug deal dispute. It's not like someone's like, you know, fucking with your honor here, or someone like, you know, I just said, let's leave me out. And but the idea of like, I was the friend. I was the opposite of in your story. I was the guy that said, I don't want to have anything to do with you guys.
That's the smart. You were smart. I did
Yeah.
that, by the way. I've done those forensic when I was young, like fake buds, where you'd get. I remember we would get oregano and we would roll it into Elmer's glue, and we would get purple thread. We were really artisans. We would get purple thread and lace it onto the oregano bud, and then get a really weed-looking stick and stick it into the bud. And we would. I remember I don't know that this story is true, but it is a true memory. It feels like it was probably an exaggeration, because we made these buds and then sold it to this guy who bought it, and he was so desperate to have people think he was cool. He came back and wanted more.
Oh no.
It feels impossible that he even smoked it, right?
It's
he must.
not pot. It's a clove cigarette.
Moshe, did you do drugs also besides drinking? and
Yeah.
weed?
Yeah.
What'd you get into?
I loved acid. I took acid a lot when I was a very little kid.
So is it possible a lot of these stories are hallucinations?
Yeah, they might be
What do you mean
They
by
never really
what do you
happened.
mean by very little kid?
Oh, I don't mean 6. I mean I started. I think I dropped
Right.
acid for the first time when I was 12.
Wow.
Which, by the way, is not. It's not the right time to do acid.
I did it when I was 16.
Yeah.
Or 17.
I never did anything cool. Do you ever do anything cool on acid? Like acid stuff,
Yeah.
like watch The Wizard of Oz or go to the forest.
Yeah, I watched. Definitely did all that. Went to the forest. Watch a little 2001 Space Odyssey.
I didn't do anything.
I did. You know, what was the best? I'll tell you, what was the best.
Yes.
Trampoline. Listening to like Axis Bold as Love, if you know that album by
sure,
Jimi
yes.
Hendrix. Especially the song Axis Bold as Love. Peaking.
I think I listened to some cool songs, but we would like take acid and go to the BART station and just hang out in a parking lot and stare at
That's
tires.
not good.
No, I want to do it now, but now I'm all sober. Everything's unfair. I've been thinking about this a lot. Kids have baby teeth. Their first 5 years of their life, they have temporary teeth, and then they grow their permanent teeth in. We got to reverse that. We should be born with permanent teeth. Okay, babies would be much less cute because they'd have really big teeth, and it would be really
strange.
scary
I'm
for a
trying
long
to picture
time.
that. It's a little strange.
So kids are born with permanent teeth.
Adult-sized teeth.
Adult-sized teeth. It's harder to love your kid because they look like monsters. But
Right.
then when they get to be adults, they've got permanent teeth. And then when you get to about 55, your teeth fall out and you grow adult teeth for the final chapter of your life. So you've got really nice, shiny teeth.
I love that.
Well,
just
I
went
have a
to the
different
dentist.
perspective. I think we should be continuously growing teeth, and then we go and get them shaved
Get 'em filed
down
down.
like our nails.
Or
Like a
shark.
beaver. Yeah, you got to keep eating, otherwise they'll
But
like.
sharks just lose them left and right all the time. You know, like, it's fine.
It's my least
you know?
favorite thing
Yeah,
about
but you
sharks.
don't want to be
okay.
walking around with like missing teeth in your adulthood.
You don't have to brush them as much.
That's Ferengi style. You know the Ferengis.
fall out.
You know about the Ferengis, fellas?
Is that a Star Trek thing?
Yeah, they're the space Jews. They shave their teeth down for sexual attractiveness to attract mates. They have sharp teeth and they shave them on down.
Holy
By the
moly.
way, I was this fake pot stuff reminded me that this is the worst thing one of the worst things I've ever done. Not for money, just for fucking with somebody. In college, we cut up some paper to look like tabs of acid.
Oh yes,
And
I've done
gave
that.
it to some dude that we were fucking with, and
Smoke weed.
said, "This is the good shit, man." And we all pretended we were tripping on acid.
Did he pretend? Did the guy you gave it to say, "I can feel it"?
I think he kind of like played along, and then sort of was like, I don't know, it's not working for me. You know.
Acid. When's the last time you did acid? Anyone?
Smoke on the air. I don't care.
Is it not? Is it 1:30 here? I guess if I subtract.
I want to do acid. I haven't.
You never have?
I haven't done it since before college. Since probably.
really
since
I never have either
1994.
because
You've
I had.
never
But
have?
I've been.
I never have because I had a roommate.
I've done
that
mushrooms.
Went
I've
nuts.
done mushrooms since then.
Recently.
Yeah, mushrooms are great.
Recently, yeah.
Oh, you've done mushrooms. Vic.
Yeah,
Mushrooms and acid, I feel, and I
Similar.
know that the hippie community is going to rise up against me for
Uh-oh.
saying what I'm about to say. But mushrooms and acid, it's very, very similar
Slightly,
experience.
yeah, okay.
Have you done mushrooms, Doug?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think-
but Moshe, if I could just reel this back in.
No.
Um,
I want to talk about. Yes, Tim.
if you do when I'm doing mushrooms, and you know, this is veering into Rogan show territory, which I'm trying to avoid, but if you do small doses of mushrooms, it is very different than the acid experience. If you
Because
so,
acid's so powerful.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I suppose if you did tiny doses of acid, you would that would also maybe be similar to doing tiny doses of mushrooms.
Well, I'm
so.
starting a movement, a psychological movement for people to do a very
You're
little
starting
amount.
a psychological movement. Go on.
Yeah, for people to do small amounts of acid in the morning, and I'm calling it tiny dosing.
The pounding.
It's called tiny
Oh,
dosing.
Okay.
I'm trying to spread that.
That should be great.
Well, you know about everybody's microdosing.
Right.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Silicon Valley CEOs say that they microdose in the morning and it makes them be able to close deals better.
Yeah, it provides energy and focus. They say clarity. Matt, we should take a zoomer here. Make sure we're on the air.
Can't we just
say good morning?
communicate?
Yeah, let's talk to Nick. Nick at the office.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
Stop it.
Wall. Build that wall.
Stop it. Who the hell is this? What is
Build
this?
that
My
wall.
accountant checking in?
It's close.
Let's do my taxes on
I
the
like
air.
how he's at a skyline too. It's like we're all
look at that.
at you know,
Where are you? What city are you?
I'm in Chicago.
Ah, cool.
What do you do for a living? Where, are you at work?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm representing the
Sweet
white collar
home,
crowd.
You represent white collar
Nice.
criminals?
No, the crowd.
Oh, the white collar crowd.
Is there's a long war between the blue collar and the white collar.
Oh
listeners.
yes, Moshe. We have a lot of blue collar workers call in, like people working at. We really do at factories and shipping yards and stuff like that, and a lot of warehouses. And the white collar community is getting a little offended because they're like, "Hey, we're here too," but obviously they don't have the kind of idle time that some of these warehouse people have. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's getting into. He's got to reply to this summons coming in. But so, what can I do for you up there in Chicago?
So I had this is sort of like an old matter of business, but I had a theory as to why Richard Dreyfuss was slipping out of that chair
Go ahead.
Go on.
a long time ago. And it comes from another Richard D, who we all know, Richard Dunn. There's that episode of Tim and Eric where he has that disease where he needs everyone's bones. They're going to call in and give him their bones. And there's a really funny shot of him sliding down his chair because of his
Oh,
disease.
yeah.
And I was wondering if Richard Dreyfuss perhaps was suffering from the same affliction.
I mean, you're welcome to wonder that. That's the beauty of the human mind.
You know, I could say this, Richard Dreyfuss. I have another theory, which is I know Richard Dreyfuss to be a joke thief. Like that's just something that's known in the Hollywood community. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss.
Like in like interviews and stuff.
just a famous joke thief. On he used to do stand up, and so I'm thinking maybe he stole the bit from Tim and Eric. Like he was actually aping the bit. That's something to think about.
There's definitely a couple of different things to think about, and I might not. And I might not, though. Well, thank you for that. I want to turn things to a big breaking news. We have now, Vic has got some footage of one of the great actors, I think, of the 20th century, Mr. Michael Douglas, enjoying some seafood. So let's take a look at Michael Douglas enjoying some seafood.
Oh my God. Okay.
The biggest oyster I have ever seen.
Oh.
Please no.
Oh.
Congratulations. Cheers.
All right.
There
That's
it
the
is.
news.
Yikes.
That's breaking worldwide.
Didn't he have some issues with his throat a while
Yes.
ago?
It was
You
from,
know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's
about?
good.
yeah, from eating a bad oyster. I remember that.
Right.
No,
If
he
you
ate,
know what I mean.
he ate Catherine Zeta-Jones's oyster so long he had some throat
If you
issues.
know
It
what
doesn't
I
seem
mean.
like a good idea for him to be eating that. That's
Oh
all.
man, that was visceral and physically difficult for me to watch.
You could taste it, huh?
Yeah.
Let's do the city of the day real quick.
The city of the day. City of the day.
All right, the city of the day is brought to you by the Groundhog Steak of the Month Club. February 2nd is Groundhog's Day. It's the perfect reminder to join the Groundhog Steak of the Month Club. Housing developers around the country have been building beautiful subdivisions, running groundhogs out of their holes. Our agents have been collecting, clubbing, and artisanally carving up those filthy little whistle pigs for you to enjoy at home. The only shadow our hogs cast will be from the Edison bulb above your sink, your kitchen table. Every month, frozen whole to table shanks, steaks, mini ribs, and our popular no stink bone-in hog knuckle soup will be shipped to your doorstep. We'll even throw in a skull or two at no additional charge. They're great for teething kids to gnaw on. Office Hours listeners get a free 6-pack of hog water made from real groundhog fur rinsings and eyeball pressings. Just go to hogstoheaven.extinct and use the code word Tim. Okay. Now let me hear this jingle before I drown from my mouth, which is extremely watering.
Groundhog Steak of the Month Club. Groundhog Steak of the Month. Groundhog Steak of the Month Club. Groundhog Steak of the Month. Groundhog Steak of the Month Club.
All right. Doug's so into it.
I made a rave one for Moshe.
This is very ravey.
Let's find out who our city of the day is, Matt.
Zachary, you there?
Yes.
This is Zach from last week calling in. Zach from, oh, there he is. Zach with the Tim Heidecker Aquarium Drunkard cap
right.
on, which
Yes,
I wore all
the
summer
Tim
long.
Heidecker edition.
Yeah.
The Tim edition.
Where are you calling
in,
from?
I am in Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Tell us something about Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Well, right now, our claim to fame would be we are hosting one of the very few prestigious stops on the joint Kid Rock and Small Town Guy, I can't remember his name, tour.
John Mellencamp?
No, the try that
Jason
Small Town
Aldean.
guy.
Small town.
Yeah, Jason Aldean. Yeah, the Jason Aldean.
Small town.
I
The
heard
Jason Aldean Kid Rock embarrassment tour.
Is
will
that
be
one
stopped.
redheaded guy there?
oh the
You know what I'm talking about?
wailing to the heavens
Oh.
about the culture
No,
war.
rich
Yeah.
men north of
That
Richmond.
guy, that's who I was thinking
Oh.
it was.
You know, I heard recently that Kid Rock is one of the greatest concert experiences of all time. That he puts on an unbelievable show, and I must say, I do believe that the show is probably good.
Well, it's going to be actually hosted a few miles outside of our town.
Less
at a place
popular
called-
bluff,
How are you going to get
Yeah.
there?
unpopular.
Well,
bluff.
it's a place called Bricks Off Road. It's for like driving your ATVs around in the mud. So that's where it's going to be. I imagine it'll live up to the Kid Rock the hype that you're given.
Are you going to go?
Can you get back to us, Moshe, on where you heard that from?
I was
It feels like it's coming
Yeah, are
from
you
like the
serious?
Kid Rock publicity
Yes,
department.
no, I'm totally serious. And it was not, I was talking to someone about the greatest concerts he'd ever seen. And he said,
Oh, it's Joe Rogan. That's what you were off the air.
It was not Joe Rogan. And he said, I have to tell you, this is a little weird, but one of the best live shows I ever saw was Kid Rock. And I actually think you should go. Tim, I think that you should buy him a ticket to go see Kid Rock.
Can't someone say?
Oh, they're
what
probably
they think
$25.
what
I don't
think?
mind
Can we
doing
just
that.
Decide. Like,
Well, Tim, I did see you in St. Louis, so
Thank you. That was a
That
great
was a-
show.
yeah, that was good.
What's that place called again?
The pageant.
The pageant.
I wonder if it's modern day rock or if it's like Woodstock '99 Kid Rock.
Well, wait, Tim, do you think it's a bad concert? Like, obviously the music is not
Well,
good.
the
but
music is bad.
Obviously,
and then
the
what else
music's
is
bad.
there? There's
well,
just
I
gonna be
guess like the performance.
pyrotechnics.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I could.
Your parents told you that this was the great concert.
Yeah, my mom loved it. She's deaf. My dad loved it. He's been dead since 2001.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Okay.
No,
Good one,
you
Doug.
can say parents.
Well, let's break it down. I mean, the music's no good. The message is terrible. Then you've got video projections, lights, and pyrotechnics, which you can get at a hockey game.
Wait, I would add one more element though, which is
people watching.
Two more. Well, the people watching has got to be
that's
fantastic.
fun, yeah.
But
Sure.
musical ability would be something.
What?
I don't know. I'm not defending Kid Rock. I'm saying that's another part
What
of
am
it.
I looking at? The guy playing the
And then
the
performance.
the drums?
The performance itself. Like, I'm not a huge I'm sure you love Kiss. Do you love Kiss, Tim?
No. Hate
But
Kiss.
Do you think it's probably a good concert experience? I'm sure it is.
I would say for maybe like 10 minutes it would be curious to me, but I don't know. I'm more on the line of like the theatrics of live entertainment to me are like they're very uninteresting to me.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Like I saw Guar.
Okay.
I'm not a big they're like thrash metal, right? I'm not a big thrash metal, but I
Yeah,
was like, these guys are great. What a wonderful concert this is.
Sure. That would be an example of someone I saw them years ago. Like, yeah, that's an extreme theatrical. I guess what I mean, like I'm not dissing theatrical productions and live experiences. I just think a lot like Kid Rock or whether it's Kid Rock or Fleetwood Mac or whoever.
Wait, Fleetwood Mac?
there's only so many tools in their toolbox. They're
You
gonna
think
have some
Fleetwood
big
Mac is
video
bad?
projection? No. Well, first of all, if I'm going to see Fleetwood Mac, what am I seeing? Because you got Lindsey Buckingham out.
Oh, right.
You got Christine McVie dead.
She's not going to be on stage, right? They won't have her.
No, she's with my dad in
No,
heaven
those are
right
the
now.
two. Those are the two out of the three primary singer-songwriters of that band. That's like
Right.
like Ringo touring as the Beatles.
Right.
So get the fuck out of here.
I would love to see Kiss, even though I saw Alice Cooper once in concert, and I went to roll my eyes, and I left like, this guy is a master.
Rocket, man.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's Alice Cooper right there. Alice Cooper's one of the coolest performances I've ever seen. He came
When
down.
was this?
He came down a slide with a spider costume on with multiple arms. He's like 85 years old and he's in like full like Norwegian death metal makeup as he comes down the slide. I thought it was so cool.
I hear you. I just don't. I think my reaction to seeing Alice Cooper coming down a slide with the spider costume on would be sort of like, like I wouldn't be like, what?
I mean, I don't think I was freaking out, but I mean, I'm not saying like I wanted to go buy an Alice Cooper album, but I was glad that I was at the concert. I thought it was fun.
He stole his whole image from Arthur Brown. You know Arthur Brown?
Yeah, God is Hellfire.
Who's Arthur Brown?
All right.
I am the god of
Motion
hell.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Okay, all right.
We all steal.
All right,
Who
all right.
cares? Great artists steal, right?
It's true.
What else do we want to get into?
You
ever
ever
been to
visit
like-
Vic's guy?
You ever been to a rave, Tim?
No, maybe in high school once. I got the hell out of there.
Me
real
and Tim
quick.
and Eric went and we saw DJ Assault once at the
DJ Assault
is
good.
At the Echo. We danced our ass
We
off.
did?
And Tim was even dancing his ass off.
You
I
danced.
don't remember
Tim
that at
doesn't
all.
even remember, but I
DJ
remember.
Assault is like very fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ghetto Tech.
Ghetto Tech. There was a DJ called DJ Funk that does.
Yeah.
You know DJ Funk? Very,
course.
very filthy rap samples over like really, really fast house and techno. And he was really fun. I saw him once. I was a rave promoter, a rave DJ, an ecstasy dealer, clean and sober ecstasy dealer, all through the early '90s in San Francisco in the warehouse.
That's the prime era.
That was my era.
And your book is about. Might as well tie it in here. It's about your 4 things that the subcultures you got into, right?
Yeah, it was actually it's 6, and I started with AA and rehab and the 12 steps, and when I was like 8 months sober, I realized like I'm 50 and I've got the rest of my life to like find how to have a good time, and I randomly bought a ticket to a rave, and I went to this rave called Cyberfest '95 in Oakland, and I walked in like a wannabe gangster, like a little like teenage derelict, and I walked out like I had a
like a candy. What do they call it? A candy.
I did have candy. Okay, not only did I have candy. Candy is.
Did you wear the pacifier? You have the pacifier?
Tim, I'm so glad you brought that up.
You wear the diaper?
That's
all the baby accoutrements.
I was clean and sober. And people have pacifiers at raves for a specific reason, which is that when you take MDMA, it makes you grind your teeth, and so you would suck on a pacifier to avoid grinding your teeth into little rave nubs. But I bought a pacifier because I thought it looked cool. Because I was sober and I didn't need to avoid that. I bought a Tweety Bird pacifier. I used to wear it around my neck with a Muppet Babies shoelace.
Oh man!
I had like I used to put a gorilla hand puppet on and go to raves. I like burned all of my like wannabe gangsta gear, and I went to like Ross and bought like 5 pairs of Jinkos that I would switch out, and I would put the puppet on my hand and a glow stick in the other hand, and I would go dance all night completely sober.
The degree by which we would not have been friends during that period is incalculable.
But here's the thing.
Incalculable.
Well, here's the thing. Speaking of, it actually connects back to whether or not Kid Rock is a good concert experience. There was different things that I was getting out of raving that you didn't need. Because it sounds like you were like a normal person, and when you saw something negative and awful, you walked the other way and said, that's not for me. My whole life was like, my whole childhood life was so filled with negativity and violence and awfulness. That when I went to rehab, I got out and I got sober, I like had missed all of the parts of like a regular developmental childhood. I'd missed all the innocent fun parts. That when I went to raves, I got to retry that. I got to, inside that scene, I got to like somehow have a second chance at a childhood, even though there were drugs and sex and all that kind of stuff. It was also like innocent and softened me in a way that was necessary for my development and necessary for me to become your friend, Tim.
Did you do the sex part?
And I appreciate that, because I don't want you to. I mean, I know you received what I just said the way it was meant to be received. It was like, it's nice now that we get along.
No, I mean, I think of it like a pendulum. Like I was on one side of this like life pendulum where I was so damaged and fucked up, and then raves pulled me all the way over to the other side to a degree that was like actually absurd and stupid. And yes, if you had seen me back then, you'd been like, oh my God, this kid looks ridiculous. In order for me to like swing back to the middle in my adult life and be like a regular human being. To me, raves are as like key a psychological component to my development as the 12 steps were, as therapy was, as the podcasting community has been. Wow. That last part was really a joke.
Let's take a call. I want to include the audience. Matt, it could be a hotheader, it could be a zoomer, whatever you want.
Knowing your own darkness.
There's a lot
is
of drug
the best method
talk.
for
A
dealing
lot
with
of folks
the
have drug
darkness of other
talk.
people.
Ronald,
What a
you have
great
some drug
quote.
talk?
Ronald McDonald's on the phone.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. McDonald, big fan.
Oh, could you throw a mask on?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I threw my last one out. I'm trapped at home. Anyway, guys, hi everyone. I like to say.
Are you also behind a?
Are you like in prison right now?
Window?
Yeah, there's a window here.
Oh my God.
No, but did you hear, dude? The new variant can be spread through Zoom. I swear to God, I didn't make that up.
no.
The CDC just said the new variant is Zoom.
I'm using a VPN, so it's okay.
Okay, good.
Very nice selection of hats, guys. I like the variety of hats. And,
There's so many hats. You don't see me with a hat on, by the way. I'm
Yeah, but your
indoors.
hair's
I don't
so
wear
great,
hats.
Tim.
It's called
Your hair's so
class. It's called. Anyways,
So my question, I work in addictions and mental health as a nurse and inpatient. So I see a lot of stuff to do with drugs. People taking too many drugs, ending up in hospital. Some people can't take drugs, you know, just like some people can't drink because they get depressed, blah, blah, blah. Not to make it serious, but, or get you down. But has anyone had any experience with someone who's taken any substances and you've been worried that they need to go to hospital or that they've ended up in hospital? And this can be, you know, funny stories. It doesn't have to be like sad. You know, oh, my friend OD'd or something like that.
I'm sure Moshe has plenty.
I have a lot. Beyond just my years in rehab and AA stuff, when I was in the rave world, and actually at Burning Man, that's the third subculture in the book. I worked at Burning Man for 15 years, and I went for the first time in 1996. I have, I think, like a spiritual, like a metaphysical ability to be the designated driver everywhere I am. Like somehow I run into the person that's overdosing I'm always the guy that somehow finds the overdosing person. And I think it's because, I mean, I don't really believe in magic in this way, but I do think there's some part of the universe that allows me to be the person that discovers that person because I'm sober in these spaces where people are doing so many drugs. So I'm not going to panic and freak out, and I will know how to get that person help. So yes, I have a lot of times called for help or figured out a person that was in drug trouble. This is pre-fentanyl where the overdose situation is much more serious.
Yeah,
now.
I wanted to bring that up because I got a message. And by the way, I was there for when Vic overdosed on cherries. That was part of that experience. It was pretty scary. But I wanted to pass this along because this woman that helps me with my music wrote sort of a message to a bunch of people she represents and was like, please be aware that the drug, there's some really bad cocaine out there and drugs in general, of course, but there's people like that we know. I don't want to name any names, but like people that were at shows of people we know, I would say that you would be like at that show, people like ODing on coke that had fentanyl in it.
Hey guys,
so
Jeremy Renner.
I mean, it's very
Legalize
scary.
it, legalize it.
Luckily, I don't do any of that stuff, so I don't worry about getting tainted stuff with fentanyl. But I know that it's part of, you know, a young person's. Many people potentially listening to the show right now who dabble or kind of are going to try it for fun, or their friends are doing it. It should be known that it's very at this moment right now. It's very, very dangerous.
Can I have a sniff?
Moshe, is there any like altering drugs or substances you take now, or is is LSD out, or are you just completely sober?
I'm completely sober,
Okay.
and I to what Tim's saying, you should test your drugs, right? Would you agree with that, COVID friend? You test your drugs.
Yeah, it's just always that's harm reduction. Take like half or less of what you think you should take
and test it for fentanyl. But Vic, to your question,
get tested. Yeah.
To your question, I really started because I left AA, and that's a big part of the book. You know, each segment of the book is like a history of the subculture and then my time in it. And a part of what I wrote about in the book is like my slow journey out of being like sort of active in that world and in that community, and I started to think about psychedelics as like is what we were talking about, Tim. Like I never tried it as an adult. I never tried it with any intentionality, with any kind of meaningfulness to it. And I really actually think psychedelics have like a lot of power. And if I could do them with a clinician or a spiritual guide or something, there's something really positive and beautiful about it. And I was really thinking about it. I was like really kind of almost thinking, maybe I will do this. And Natasha got pregnant. And then I thought, I don't have any desire.
Who's the dad?
I don't. It's Vic. That's why I'm telling him this story.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay. But I just was like, I don't have any desire to like mix these stories together of my decision to not be clean and sober and my.
Well, she's not pregnant now.
That's true, but now
you can.
But now she's here, and I'm a dad. And
but your daughter's better than acid.
100%, my daughter's better than acid. I've done acid, and I've never had a person grow up in my house that it's my job to teach them how to be an adult and all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't have any desire to do it now, but there was a time when I was thinking about it.
Okay.
Listen, we're having so much fun, and time is flying. Do you realize how time is flying? And do you even acknowledge time?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, who
As
are
a
you talking to?
concept.
Is this about me being almost late?
No. I just want to make sure we stay on time because we have a musical guest coming in. I want to get to Vic's new guy. People are all excited about
Do you wanna
that.
save that
As if
for-
on
for
cue.
after the
As if
break?
on cue. Hello.
Well, what do you think, Matt? Why don't you check in? You seem to be completely checked out.
Well, DJ Harrison just walked into the room, which
Thank you,
can't
guest.
see.
Thank you, caller, by the way.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the work you do, too.
Oh, yes, Ronald. Yeah, we can check in with... Sorry, Ronald had a funny golden thumb. Yeah, let's check in with DJ, or do you want to watch... I feel like we need to give a wider berth for Vic's new guy, huh?
I
want to
agree.
get into that.
I
We're gonna do a
agree.
new guy first.
Should we take a quick hotliner and then get to
Yeah.
DJ? Let's do
Yeah.
that. Larry, is that your name? 614, you're on the hotline.
Next caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, is this Tim?
Yes, it is Tim Heidecker. How are you?
Hello.
I'm very good. Hi everybody. My name's Jacob. I'm a college student, and I was calling. I had a on cinema question actually.
Okay, make it quick.
So you make a lot of jokes on cinema related to diabetes. I was wondering, are you actually type 1? I know the jokes in the show you make are you
I'm
got
not.
diabetes.
I
You're
don't think
you're
I
not
am.
type 1.
No,
You
I don't. Are you?
Okay. I am. Yeah. That's why it was relatable. It was relatable.
Huh? Oh, good. Well,
but-
I hope it brings you joy.
Did you say good?
You hope
yeah.
that brings him joy.
I hope my teasing about diabetes brings you joy. Diabetes, I don't know about you, Moshe.
Well,
you can
I
chime in
appreciate
here.
the teasing, just not of me.
Well, I think there's something, for me at least, there's words that are funny, right? I think there are words that are funny.
Corn.
And one of those words is diabetes.
Because you're
You know what
thinking
another
of
word is?
You're thinking
diarrhea.
Of, diarrhea is a funny word, but you're thinking of the oatmeal guy saying diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yes.
Diabetes.
Yes.
That's funny.
Diabetes.
Diabetes itself not
Bingus
funny.
is another.
Wilford Brimley
Well,
saying
diabetes is, it's a thing, but it's treatable. It's not the end of the world, is it? And by the way, I haven't made diabetes jokes on cinema in like 7 years. Like I think that was like a season 3
It was early, yeah.
condition.
What disease are you making fun of this season?
Oh, a new one.
What do you got?
You would know if you watched the show, but I know people in Hollywood don't watch other people's work.
Diabetes.
I listened to your album. You know, I'm a huge fan, Tim.
I know.
Diabetes.
Wait, I can bring our musical guest into my the world of my book. The last rave. You're on Stone's Throw Records.
Mm-hmm.
The last rave I ever threw was called Pangea, and we booked Peanut Butter Wolf, who is the owner, the founder of Stone's Throw Records.
Thank you, Wilford.
This is a real connection piece we've got.
All right, let me
And
go
he does
through this. What's going to happen right
Records
now?
Roadhouse,
okay?
I believe he runs that.
Was that his place?
I think
didn't
so.
know that. Oh,
It
cool.
could be fake
I need
news,
to.
though.
I need
It's
to.
not.
Matt, book me a flight to get
not.
back in the studio right now. 'Cause I need to rein this in.
There's a band called the Diabeatles, and it's Wilford Brimley. I really want to play this for a second.
All right, well, let's
Never mind. Okay.
let's preview it and let Tim introduce DJ.
Listen, we're going to do this. We're going to have music from not a DJ, a musician named DJ Harrison.
And
we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got Vic's new guy. We've got some thoughts I have on on a big movie that's out right now called Zone of Interest. And Doug's acting reel. And Doug has a new game. So if you're watching this in the future, join us at patreon.com/officeHoursLive.
It's all about
If you're
the
watching us
second
live,
half.
stick around.
It's all about the
Excuse
second
me?
half. It's all about the second half today.
I
Wait a second.
can't get a damn sentence out. But
Go
I
back to
appreciate the
Canada.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Oh, come on.
So take it away, DJ Harrison, and we'll be back in a few.
Stop, start up, stay upstairs, I'm better. Stop, not upstairs, I'm better. Stop, stay upstairs, I'm better. Stay up and be I'm better. Stay up, stay up, stay, baby, stay about the way. Stay, baby, stay the way. Stay, stop, stay, and soon as I'm there.
That was great. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you. I went into another plane.
White House, and we need a woman to clean it up, and that woman is Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yeah. Ready? We need a woman in the White House, and that person's Hillary Clinton. She's the one. We need a woman in the House, the White House. Come on and join us, everyone. Okay. We need a woman in the House, the White House. Our fight has just begun. That's right.
This song is going out to my good friends, Joe and Catherine Jackson. On behalf of Michael. Michael, we will always believe in you, and to us, you are Peter Pan.
What kind of man who gives so much and we not understand that he cares so much for the children in this cold, cold earthly land. He is hurt, betrayed, and a father, a human being with a broken heart. When he was young, he sang with his brothers, and now you look and turn away. We call him Peter, Peter Pan. His spirit lives in Michael's Never, Never Land. We call him Peter, 'cause he's a fan. He will never grow up and become a man. Mom and Dad, you both were children, so I know you'll understand how I love to play with laughter or walk with you just holding hands. You taught me never accuse somebody, mistaking water just for sand. A man who loves and cares for all children, and yet they all misunderstand. We call him Peter, Peter Pan. His spirit lives in Michael's Never, Never Land. We call him Peter, 'cause he's a fan. He will never grow up and become a
good bread, really good bread, really good bread, really, 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 really good bread, really good bread, really good bread, really, 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 really good bread, really good bread, really good bread, really, 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 really good bread, really good bread, really good bread, really, 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 really good bread, really good bread, really good bread, really, 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 really good bread, really good bread.
Hillary in the house, Hillary in the White House, Hillary in the house, Hillary in the White House. We don't need no bling. All we gotta do is sing. We don't need no bling. We got the real thing, and that's Hillary Clinton. She's the one. Let's get loud. Let's get real. Tell me how you really feel now. Let's get loud. Let's get real. Hillary in the White House. Wait, oh wait. Hillary in the house. Hillary in the White House. Hillary in the house. Hillary in the White House. Hillary in the house. This is a message you gotta listen to. Hillary in the White House. Oh wait. Hillary in the house. Hillary in the White House. Hillary in the house. Hillary in the White House.
Hillary for you and me, bring back our democracy. Make this country proud and free. Let's stand up for Hillary. Hillary for you and me, bring back our democracy. Vote from sea to shining sea, everyone for Hillary. Fighting in a war, but we don't know what we're fighting for. In school we're testing minds, but we're leaving our children all behind. The world is getting hot, but our global warming plan is not. Our goals are out of range, so we know it's time for a change. Hillary for you and me, bring back our democracy. Make this country proud and free. Let's stand up for Hillary. Hillary for you and me, bring back our democracy. Vote from sea to shining sea, everyone